Picture this, it's 2018. Inside a Pentagon war room, a simulation is running. Icons representing America's stealth bombers cross into enemy airspace. For decades, these planes were ghosts, invisible, untouchable. Then the screen lights up. Every bomber is tracked, every route exposed. In the first week of war, half the fleet is destroyed. The rest, grounded. The room goes silent. What you're looking at isn't just a failed test. It's the end of America's invisible advantage. That single moment sparked a new question. What do you build when your most advanced weapon just became useless? The answer takes us back to 1989, the debut of the B-2 Spirit bomber. You know the one, the black flying wing that looks like it came out of Star Wars. Each plane cost $2.2 billion. Only 21 were ever built. The total program, $44 billion. But for 30 years, it delivered. Here's how. Radar works like this. It sends out waves. Those waves bounce off objects, and the signal comes back. That echo becomes a blip on a screen. The B-2 broke that system. It absorbed and deflected radar waves so they didn't bounce back. To operators, nothing was there. It was like searching for a cat in a pitch-black room. Except the cat carried nuclear weapons. But here's the flaw. The B-2 was only stealthy from the front. From the side, it showed up. From the rear, it showed up. From above, same thing. It was like having an invisibility cloak that only works if someone stares right at your face. At first, that didn't matter. Soviet radar was outdated. Single direction, fixed positions, World War II tech with upgrades. The B-2 just flew straight in, dropped bombs, and left. Done. But by the mid-2000s, China had a new plan. Instead of one giant radar, they built thousands of cheap ones, all connected, all talking to each other, covering every angle. It was called a multi-static radar array. Think about it. You're hiding in a stadium at night. One guard has a flashlight. You can avoid it. But what if 10,000 guards all have flashlights pointed everywhere? There's nowhere to hide. That's what China built. A $500 billion nationwide radar net. And suddenly, America's invisible bomber wasn't invisible anymore. And here's the thing. Even if the B-2 had stayed invisible, it carried another fatal weakness. Maintenance. That special coating, the one that made radar waves vanish, it was insanely fragile. Sunlight degraded it, rain damaged it, temperature changes cracked it. The math was brutal. For every 1 hour in the air, the B-2 needed 119 hours of maintenance. 1 flight hour, 5 days in the hangar, and not just any hangar. It required massive climate-controlled warehouses just to sit idle. Each recoating cycle cost millions and took days. So on paper, America had 21 bombers. In reality, about 6 were ready at any given time. Imagine owning 21 Ferraris, but only being able to drive 6. The rest are always in the shop. That's how America's most advanced bomber really worked. And then came the 2018 War Games. The results? In a fight with China or Russia, half the B-2 fleet gone in week 1. The rest grounded for repairs. $44 billion reduced to target practice. The Air Force needed something new, something impossible. So they wrote a new wish list, and it read like science fiction. Invisible from every angle, radar cross-section smaller than a mosquito, minimal maintenance, no special hangars, no constant recoating, cost under $1 billion per plane, and at least 100 built. Boeing said no. Lockheed said impossible. Even Northrop Grumman, the builder of the B-2, initially refused. The math didn't work. The physics didn't work. It was like asking for water that isn't wet. Until someone asked a different question. What if the answer didn't come from aerospace engineering, but from nature? Here's the genius part. A mosquito technically shows up on radar, but its signal is so faint, it gets drowned out by background noise. The static left over from the Big Bang. In other words, it's not invisible. It's quieter than the universe itself. Northrop Grumman built an AI system and gave it a challenge. 10 million radar scenarios, every frequency, every angle, every known detection method, current ones, future ones, theoretical ones. The AI ran simulations non-stop for 6 months, and the design it returned broke every rule of aircraft building. It said, make the bomber smaller, not bigger. Shrink the wingspan by 40 feet. Reduce the payload by half. Use fewer engines. Simplify everything. The generals were furious. Smaller, weaker, less capacity? until they saw the results. Mojave Desert, 2021. A B-21 prototype was placed inside an anechoic chamber, a lab designed to eliminate background noise. Then they hit it with everything: military radar, civilian air traffic systems, Russian multi-band arrays, Chinese quantum prototypes, even experimental systems that don't officially exist. The results? Nothing. No return, no echo, no ghost signal. The technician thought the equipment had failed. He called his supervisor. The supervisor called the director. The director called the Pentagon. And the answer was the same. The B-21's radar signature was smaller than cosmic background radiation, smaller than the static echo of the Big Bang itself. One engineer put it perfectly. Trying to detect the B-21 is like trying to hear a whisper in the middle of a hurricane while wearing noise-canceling headphones. Not difficult, not unlikely, impossible. Now let's talk money, because the economics of the B-21 don't make sense, at least not in the usual way. The B-2 Spirit cost $2.2 billion per plane. The B-21, $692 million, 3 times more capable, at 1/3 the price. How is that even possible? It comes down to 4 things. First, digital design. The B-2 was created in the 1980s, on paper. Clay models, physical wind tunnels. 2,000 design changes after production began. Every change meant cost. Every change meant delay. The B-21 was born digital. A complete digital twin existed before the first part was built. Every component tested virtually. Every failure caught before it reached the factory. Result? Only about 1% of design changes after production started. 1%. That alone saved billions. Second, modern manufacturing. The B-2 was hand-built. Each one took 6 months. Almost like crafting a supercar by hand. The B-21 uses 3D printing, robotic assembly, modular construction. Think more like Lego blocks than handcrafted sculptures. Production time? 12 weeks per plane. Faster than many commercial jets. Third, scale. We only built 21 B-2s. That's boutique production. The B-21 will be built in the hundreds, maybe 200. Every plane produced drives the cost down further. The line gets faster. The supply chain gets leaner. Fourth, maintenance. And this is the game changer. Remember the B-2? 119 hours of maintenance per flight hour. The B-21? 7 hours. No fragile coatings, no climate-controlled hangars, no endless reapplications. That's why the economics flipped. This isn't just a cheaper stealth bomber. It's a bomber designed to be affordable forever. Now let's get into what the B-21 can actually do. And some of this sounds fake, but it's not. Number 1, autonomy. The B-21 can fly without a pilot, not remote-controlled, fully autonomous. Its AI can identify targets, plan routes, adapt to threats, make decisions in real time, faster than any human ever could. Number 2, drone control. The B-21 doesn't just fly alone, it commands swarms of drones, up to 50 unmanned aircraft at once. And here's the key. They're not just following it, they're part of it, like extensions of the same brain. Some scout ahead, some jam radars, some create decoys, some even sacrifice themselves if needed. The enemy doesn't see one bomber, they see chaos. Number 3, open architecture. The B-2 runs on 1980s tech. Upgrading it is like trying to install TikTok on a flip phone. The B-21? It's designed like a smartphone. Plug and play. Updates over time. New weapons? Download overnight. New countermeasures? Install like an app. New threats? Patch the system. Every new B-21 is smarter than the last, and the entire fleet learns together. It's not just a bomber, it's a constantly evolving platform. Now step back, because this isn't just about tech, it's about psychology. Think about China's artificial islands in the South China Sea. They call them unsinkable aircraft carriers. To the B-21, they're just stationary targets, and the islands won't see death coming. Think about Russia's S-500 system. It can shoot down satellites, it can track hypersonic missiles, billions of rubles spent. But here's the catch. You can't target what you can't see. And the B-21 doesn't appear on radar. That's not just money wasted, that's strategy erased. But the real weapon isn't bombs, it's fear. Because here's the new reality. Every military leader has to assume there might be a B-21 overhead. Right now. Watching, recording, planning. They can't prove it's there, they can't prove it's not. So how do you mass troops? How do you move weapons? How do you plan offensives when invisible death might already be circling above? This is called strategic paralysis. The uncertainty itself becomes the weapon, and that may be the most powerful feature of the B-21. Okay, so when did these actually show up? The first flight? November 2023. And that wasn't a prototype. That was a production aircraft. Right now, 3 test planes are flying. First squadron, operational by 2030. Full deployment, around 2035. Current production speed, 1 plane every 12 weeks. Target speed, 1 every 4 weeks. Ultimate goal, 1 every 2 weeks. That's faster than many commercial airlines produce jets. And the factories? Running 24/7. 3 shifts, American workers, American parts. This isn't future tense. This is happening right now. So what's the bottom line? China and Russia together have spent about $1 trillion on counter-stealth technology, quantum radar, AI detection, space-based sensors, satellite tracking networks. The B-21 just made all of it worthless. The B-2 gave America 35 years of dominance for $44 billion. The B-21 will give 50 years of dominance for less than half that cost. But here's the shift. We're not just staying ahead. We're deleting their entire playbook. Every B-21 that rolls off the line sends the same message. You can't hit what you can't see. You can't stop what doesn't exist on your radar. You can't win when your enemy owns the physics. This isn't evolution, it's extinction. The extinction of traditional air defense. So if you're still here, you're in the rare 10% that actually finish videos like this. And you know the truth now. The B-21 Raider isn't just another bomber. It's the reset button on modern warfare. But here's the big question. Does this change everything, or does it just start a new arms race? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading. And if you want more deep dives into tech that's shaping the future, hit subscribe. It's free, and it helps me bring you the stories that actually matter. And remember this. Right now, as you're watching this, a B-21 could be flying somewhere over America, completely invisible, completely undetectable, and nobody would even know it's there.